Welcome back. You're watching Business on Course. We were just facing a bit of a rough weather while there was a little bit of a surprise shower in Bangalore. We're back in the sunshine and our special guest, Mr. Mantri, remains with us. He's a man who knows real estate in and out. But one thing that got Mantri developers right at the forefront was when you launched into real estate and you grew into it, the minute it was getting more organized, Morgan Stanley chose you to be the investors. Now, why is it that during that period that you were not a part of Morgan Stanley or the other way, you hadn't thought of a listing, for example, and we're still waiting to hear that, from your end?
No, see what happened, there were two, we wanted to raise the funds.
Yeah.
And there were two options, one to go for IPO
or private equity.
And go for private equity.
Yeah.
But we were from day one, we were feeling that I think in India, the real investors have not understood the real estate. If you see, like, we don't have a very good track record of the listed real estate companies.
Yes.
Like
certainly
in
very volatile. Track record may not be too bad.
Right. No, not track record. Not I'm talking good performance or bad performance. But people have not understood. That's right. Because I personally feel the real valuation of real estate companies is not that year's profit or loss. Okay. It's the value of the company. And that never gets published in India, which normally happens in abroad.
But some people interpret this as a major effort by real estate companies to keep themselves hidden from the eyes of the investors.
No, it's not so, because mainly the valuation comes out of assessment of the properties, what product mix and discounted valuation. And second, our value of the company, ours was quite small. We feel we have a strong value creation capacity. Okay. And we thought that maybe after 3-4 years, once we make a reasonably good size, we should go and hit IPO. It makes more sense. So then you are suggesting at any point when the recovery happens and the recession is completely wiped off, the potential towards an IPO is very much there? Absolutely. Between next 3 to 5 years, definitely you will find us in IPO market.
Well, having said that, do you feel at some point that the peak of the real estate market and the levels at which that was supposed to peak is a matter of past and no more such peaks are expected?
No, surely the much larger peak are expected. Okay. Because I am having an experience of 3 recessions. This is the 3rd recession in my life. First was in 89, then 97, and this is 3rd one. So
you've seen it all. It didn't scare you too much?
I'll tell you, like in a first recession, the 10 lakh or 100 lakh was very big figure. But then in second recession, 10 crore become a big figure. And today I think even 100 crore has the same value. I'm expecting next recession will give 1,000 crore as a bigger. Okay. So I'm definitely expecting
they'll start swallowing larger numbers.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we get back onto the game on the fairway, what has been, your thinking on using this recession to expand? What is Mantri Developers' plan of action here on?
See, we are having cut the cost. Second, increase the market share and make a product which is what customers are looking for. Because see, not what you are planning to sell. Like in last 5 years, we always manufactured and sold what we wanted to sell. We never ventured to make a smaller apartment or a low budget apartment. We always thought, better to use the time in the best possible way to make the bigger size apartment and high value apartment.
So for now, the new thinking is small is big in real estate.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's play our game again now that we're back without the rain.
Right.
Too bad now. Let's just go. Back to business. When you look at real estate properties as they come back, do you think that in some ways the aspiration of the Indian buyer has gone up and therefore spaces that are closer to spas, golf courses are selling more?
Yeah, that's actually that you see in a good time that we saw more in demand.
Oh, really?
Because people have a lot of surplus money and they like to invest in some other areas. And that time they like to buy a home near the golf course and other things. Okay. But when a little slowdown is there, the more importance is given to the functional requirement. Yeah. Means, the necessity is more important. Luxury is normally taken a back seat. Yeah. And today's kind of scenario, we feel the more people are interested in the real functional requirement of their needs rather than the luxury.
when you look at just the southern market, we were just talking about how Mantri is trying to expand.
Right.
What is it that you're doing in terms of investment? What kind of money is required at this stage in your company to try and keep the expansion on track?
See, now the expansion is very, very easy because the lands are available at a very, very attractive deferred payment terms. The prices are quite low.
Okay.
And the entire capital requirement come down substantially. And
Okay.
once we start the project, because we are now making a more compact home which is more affordable, I think the sale is not a problem. The funding gets generated from the buyer's money. And those organizations which are less levered, bankers are after them, because today for banks also there is a difficulty of getting customers. And who is good customer, who is going to repay their loan?
What about yours? How leveraged is Mantri, for example?
No, we are levered about 0.4, our debt equity ratio, which is quite low. And bankers are after, and I don't think we have faced any difficulties in raising the debt today for any of our projects.
Have you exhausted all the investment made by Morgan Stanley?
No, Morgan Stanley has invested in 2006 about 300 crore.
Yeah.
Thereafter, there is no second investment from Morgan Stanley.
Okay.
And whatever is getting generated from the projects, which the profitability is there, because we have the mainly acquired lands which normally we buy the property. There are very
they're all
few
project financed.
project finance, and debt we raise for the construction purpose.
What do you think that the government could do at this stage to try and enhance the real estate sector, given that it's getting realistic and that levels of, per square feet prices are down, and that there's a sense that perhaps sensibility has prevailed again?
See, I think the maximum time today we spend in the getting approvals. And today the biggest cost is coming from the interest.
Okay.
If government can come out with a single window kind of system, where all the approvals are given at one location,
Right.
I think it will save a lot of time. Second thing, the secondary finance is easily available. Like home loan, there is no shortage.
Okay.
In fact, all the banks, HDFC, ICICI, they are looking for the customer. There is no issues.
Okay.
Only the developer is not getting funding for the purpose of the construction purpose, because which can save his lot of money. So I feel if government comes out with a single window concept and provide a lending to the developer, those who are doing a good job, I think I don't think more than that is required to.
Do you think there would be it would be a good step or a step in the right direction if there was a real estate regulator?
I would appreciate, because today we are competing with somebody who is not following the rules regulations. Suppose we construct say 10,000 square feet and somebody is constructing 15,000 square feet. It's very difficult for us to compete with him. But the normal consumer don't understand all these things. I think.
Do you feel actually a level playing field would be created if there was a regulator?
No, see, today even to open a small pawn shop, you require a license.
Yeah.
But to open a developer office, you don't require any license. And I personally feel it's not correct.
Okay.
Even a doctor need license, chartered accountant need license, but
Correct.
developer don't require any kind of license.
Yeah.
I think coming some regulatory, I think we will welcome, because those who are following the rules regulation, they will be very happy to have regulatory mechanism.
Okay, great. Before we go down to the green and, get ahead with the game, I should ask you, what got you into golf as such? Do you think the last 3 years when you started playing golf, there was, while you said it was about stress management and, looking at a green and feeling better, what is it about golf that keeps you driven? And how often do you think you would spend time playing golf, even when the times are good?
Right. No, see, good and bad times has nothing to do with golf. But what happened, like in golf when you come and play, in fact you play very good if you don't have any tensions. You forget the past, you forget the future, and you have to be on the present. And really it gives a very good mental relaxation. Because after the golf of 2 hours or 4 hours, depending on the 18 hole or 9 holes, you are totally fresh.
Okay.
And I think that is not given in any other game.
Right.
And that is pulling again and again to come and play the golf.
Okay, great.